I mean, so anyway, I'm just laughing so hard because how often do you see a giraffe? Oh, whoa, whoa, got students here. Okay. Hey, let's take a look at what's going on. My apologies for not being in the classroom today. So this is as good as I could do. What's going to happen here is you've got a worksheet, and I'm going to have you work on it, and I'm going to share some selected answers. So I want you to work on a worksheet, and then periodically you can check back with the video. All right, so you'll stop the video, work on some questions, stop the video, work on some questions, right? Restart, stop. Right, so you'll go section by section. All right, I'll clue you in when you should stop the video and when you should be working. So let's get started. I'd like to have you work on questions 1 through 6. So you're going to stop the video now, and you can resume the video after you have completed question number 6. I hope you stop the video. Okay, it's probably time to resume. So I'm going to take a look at 2 of the questions. I'm going to take a look at question 2 and question 6. And of course, I'm going to use FOIL. So first, I have to look at the first term inside each set of parentheses. X times x, that's going to get us x squared. Outer. So I'm going to go look at the terms that are close to the outer parentheses. X times 3 is 3x. Notice I put a plus sign there because there's a plus on the 3. I, right, we're doing FOIL, F-O-I-L. I for inner, I'm going to go toward those inside parentheses. I've got negative 7 times x. Comes out as a negative 7x. L, the last one in each. Negative 7 times positive 3 comes out as a negative 21. All right, the x in the first set of parentheses multiplied both the x and the 3 in the second set, and then the negative 7 in the first set multiplied both the x and the 3 in the second set. Hey, we can combine like terms. That positive 3x and that negative 7x, those will combine to be negative 4x. And there's an answer. Now, number 6 is a little bit slower because we've got coefficients all over the place. So when I do 3x times 2x, sure, I'm going to get an x squared, but 3 times 2 is 6. So we get a 6x squared. 3x times 5, well, 3 times 5 is 15, but it was actually 3x times 5, so I need a 15x. There's a plus in the 5, so I put a plus in front of the 15x. Inner 1 times 2x will be 2x. There's a plus on the 1, so I'll make it a plus 2x. Last, I got to do 1 times 5, which is 5. Both of those are positive, so it'll be a positive 5. So I went through, did FOIL. The 15x and the 2x will combine to be 17x. And there's our answer, 6x squared plus 17x plus 5. All right, so question 6 was a little bit slower than the first 5. Time to stop the video, work on questions 7 through 12, and then you can resume the video after you finish question 12. Or after you were able to figure out as many as you could. A literary device known as foreshadowing. Is there a sneaky question in 7 through 12? Stop the video and find out. It should be stopped. Okay, it looks like it's time to get this video going again. For some interesting reason, questions 2 and 6 do not disappear. Okay, well, whatever. Let's look at questions 8 and 12. Okay, so we're factoring now. And so looking at number 8, I'm like, well, I know I need 2 sets of parentheses. That's because there's 3 terms, starts with an x squared, ends with a plain old number. So I'd figure, hey, let's try some parentheses. Let me see, I got an x squared in front. I have to do x times x. All right, so I'll put an x in the first one. I'll put an x in the second one. Now, I'm looking for clues. The negative 21 tells me the signs do not match. One of them is positive, one of them is negative. Put a plus inside one of the parentheses, doesn't matter which one. Put a minus in the other. Right? One of them has to have x plus, one of them has to have x minus. Now, looking at that 21, I'm thinking, well, 1 times 21, that, I don't think it's, 7 times 3. 7 times 3, I think, is my only good real choice, because 7 take away 3 would be 4, or 3 take away 7 would be negative 4. And it's that negative on the 4 that tells me, hey, the bigger one better be negative. Right? So the 3 can be positive, the 7 can be negative, because if I multiply 3 times negative 7, I'll get negative 21. And then if I add my 3x and my negative 7x, those combine to be negative 4x. Number 12, right? I kind of left number 6 up there because number 6 was kind of like the turkey from the... Whoa, time out. Look at the answer that we got on number 8 and look at the question for number 2. Look at the answer for number 2 and look at the question for number 8. Interesting. I wonder how many answers in the first section show up as questions in the second section. Interesting. Okay, so number 6 was the weirdo that's not going to match anything. Same thing with number 12. 12 is not going to match anything from that first section. Let me see. I got an x squared. See 3 terms. Okay, 2 sets of parentheses. X squared. I've got to use x times x. So I'll put an x in the first one. I'll put an x in the second one. Now, the clues available to me. The positive 3 tells me the signs have to match. Right? Positive times positive will make positive, and negative times negative makes positive. It's the plus on the 5 that lets me know it'll be positive times positive, because I have to get a positive in the middle. So each set of parentheses will need a plus sign. And 3, well, the only thing I can possibly think of is 1 times 3. So I'll put in a 1, I'll put in a 3, and there oh my. 1 times 3 does make 3, but 1 plus 3 is not equal to 5. We've got a problem here. That is not a valid answer. Now, think about plain old numbers. What do we call a plain old number that will not factor? I'm crossing out that answer because it's not a valid solution. Notice just one neat line through it will do fine. What do we call a plain old number that simply will not factor? We call it prime. If you have a polynomial and it will not factor, it is prime. Whew, that was fun. Again, it is time to stop the video, work on the next section. There are only 2 questions, questions 13 and 14, and then you can resume the video after question 14. If you're still listening, you should have hit the stop button. Okay, so we're back. Questions 13 and 14. Notice in each case I've rewritten them as long division. I believe that's what the instruction said. Okay, so number 13. How many times will x go into x squared? I'll need an x, all right? X times x will make x squared. And then 1 times x will make x. Subtract. X squared, subtract x squared cancels. 7x. Subtract x gives me 6x. Bring down the next term. Bring down that positive 5. X times something has to get me a 6x. I'm thinking it's going to be a positive 6. X times 6 is 6x. And then 1 times 6 will make that 6. Time to subtract. 5 subtract 6 is negative 1. So I've got an answer of x plus 6 minus 1 over x plus 1, right? Because the remainder was a negative 1, so I got to use a subtraction. The 1 is the numerator. We were dividing by x plus 1, so that's the denominator. Number 14, when did that 3x show up? It showed up a little bit early. Oh well, it's here. 2x times 3x will give me a 6x squared. And then I've also got 5 times 3x. That's where that 15x comes from. Hey, let's subtract. 17, take away 15 will leave me 2, so 17x, take away 15x will leave me 2x. The 6x squared's canceled, obviously. Bring down the next term. Oh, how lucky can you get? 2x times 1 will get us a 2x. And not only that, but 5 times 1 will get us a 5. We've got a perfect match. So when we subtract, there'll be no remainder. Again, if I went a little bit too fast, you can always pause while you're going. You can rewind if you need to. But there's the long divisions. Now, what probably everybody is most excited about, questions 15 through 25. So if you can stop the video here and then resume when you're ready to check that section. It's going to be a real quick check. Okay, we must be back. And here we go. As promised, this is going to be quick. It looks like we have big cat meows. So there's your solution, a big cat meows. And it looks like we've finished. Riding off into the sunset on our cow. That is not blood on the spear. That is cherries from the cherry pie. We'll catch you next time in person in the classroom.